There we go. Best of 5s, of course. What else would you expect from the Trovo series? In the top left side, there is a blue Protoss player. He's been doing pretty well recently. I've seen some pretty good stuff from him, and some high praise from some other casters as well. So I'm excited to see what he can bring to the table right now. Potentially a new Protoss player that is gonna turn things up a little bit. It is, of course, from Team Envy, Nightmare. The bottom right side, a tough opponent indeed. Someone quite capable. A red Terran from the Shopify Rebellion. It is Byun. A man that needs less of an introduction, as we all know that he is pretty good at StarCraft 2. What is this description? It was the name of the map. The name of the map, but then written in the Korean characters. So a one with a little tiny cape. I like that. Little nuisance going around with the probe, blocking that command center potentially here. Reaper being made, so the probe could stick around for a little bit longer. But the command center, unlucky for Nightmare, still gets plopped down pretty much instantaneously as soon as the funds required were present. Nightmare with the quick Nexus as well, but still with a safe Cybercore timing, so should have the Stalker in place to defend against the Reaper here. And still a low HP probe that could come to be harmed. Yeah, alright. Does pick him off. What else can really be achieved though with the Reaper at this point in time? You probably want to keep it around, keep it alive for a little bit longer, and hopefully get the value of a scout later down the line, right? Okay, Twilight Council has been put down, so heal up a little bit and try your luck, I would say. Then again, with the Stalkers right now as their position, maybe that's the wrong call. Might wait for like the Widowmine drop now. Oh, he's still going for it. Okay, sees the Stalker. Backing off. Just a little prod, see if he can or cannot get away with it. Yeah, starting to be a bit aggressive though. Doesn't want this Reaper to be sticking around. He's gonna get away. But definitely had the fear of the Protoss put in him. Not sure if I would be that ready to commit myself to the Terran scouting cause after getting shot by a Stalker in the face. But the Reaper is relentless. And avoids death once more. Good scout on the third base. Twilight Council not yet really in sight for Byun, right? So a bit of a blind spot. But seeing the Stalkers right now, it's a bit of an indicator, I suppose, that, you know, Blink is on the way. Can't really blindly rely on it, though. Although that is something Byun does now and again. Let's see, what else could it be? If it was DTs, for example. He has a Starport with a attack lab on it, so he's playing it super safe here, actually. Seeing 4 Stalkers now in total as he flies that medevac, or attempts to fly in the medevac. Protoss openings overall have been a bit limited for a while now, so even without scouting the Twilight Council, I'm pretty sure Byun has a pretty good idea of what is happening here. And it's just to get in there. And seeing the Twilight Council, I'm not quite sure if he picked up on the fact that it's still producing. Would have been hard in such a short moment. Well, he knows there's Blink, so... Knows that he has to be a little bit careful with how he flies that medevac in. Might be a bit more willing to spend a scan, first and foremost, before committing to any drops. Which, to be fair, Byun is pretty good at. He's very careful with the lives of his men. Is that observer in sight? Not sure if it was. Barely. Definitely on the edge. Three Stalkers at the ready. Hoping to intercept any evildoers. Matter of fact, kind of reconsidering perhaps. Doesn't quite know what is available in this mineral line though, of course. Not a pylon. Alright. Is there an armory or anything of the sorts? Nope. Nothing of the sorts. Third base for Byun. Stimpack. Combat shields. Gonna start finishing up soon. Once those have completed the triple barracks here, may as well have, yeah, with the two medevacs now, very likely for him to start trying to be a bit more aggressive. Take a bit more space. Great timing though for Nightmare as he sees the army leaving with his observer. There's the opportunity here to come in with the War Prison for Zealots. Definitely a problem for two Marauders. The Raven, though, an interesting unit that could make this a lot more difficult for the aggression to continue. Nightmare manages to, once again, get all those Zealots out of there alive. Bring them in for another round. Getting the army slightly troubled. As they consider where they are needed mostly. Oh, the Raven, actually, a beautiful pick off. An anti-armor missile lands right before it gets taken down. Is that going to be enough now for the Bio to hastily scurry their way down here? Try to take out as much as possible. Well, there's more things that trouble him, though. He's going to have to pay attention to the Zealot drop in his main base also. His Widowmine drop, apparently an F2 movement. I'm suspecting that was the case there. Matter of fact, not really clear as to where it was going. It does happen sometimes, right? A medevac with Widowmines, you kind of let sit there and hoping your opponent forgets about it, and well, sometimes you yourself forget about it as well. Didn't lose it though, of course. Still around. Basically, all he did was kind of show a, you know, posture a bit of strength towards Nightmare, saying like, you know what, if you are going to attack, keep in mind there's this medevac here. Who knows what's in there? Better be careful, boy. Nightmare did make a cannon over there in the main base. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. I'm a bit worried about potential storms hitting over here all of a sudden as the engagement does take off. The siege tank quite quickly dealt with. That's a lot of Zealots. The storm is still available as well. There's not a single ghost quite yet to EMP those High Templars, so they have free reign. This third base definitely going to have to get vacated. The Widowmines, 12 probes are successfully killed off on the other side of the map. But is that too much of a problem here for Nightmare, who is on 4 Nexus? Doesn't quite get the 3rd CC. That is a big deal right there. Been a fantastic pick. Something that, you know, if he had gotten that 3rd CC, I'd be like, alright, fantastically done. Nightmare, just go back, keep producing units. Make sure you keep an eye out for any other 3rd base attempts from Byun, but you just have to wait. You just have to survive at that point in time. Maybe still the case, though, as this 3rd base could still go down. Byun, desperate to have it go back to mining, and there it does go. 19 SCVs, 24 more, just being blown apart. Byun definitely in a lot of trouble here as Nightmare finding his way to quite the nice victory. GG. What's going on so far? Pretty similar stuff, right? We got a Nexus, though, before the Cybercore. A bit bit more greedy from Nightmare. Perhaps because the previous game he saw the Reaper timing, or perhaps because maybe the previous game Byun scouted and he's like, there's no way in hell Byun is ever gonna scout 2 games in a row with a Reaper. But here it is. Here it is. Coming to spend his vacation holidays in the Protoss Spa Resort. Which it is right now, right? There's nothing there that can really harm you for the time being. Except for the probes, right? Which is just like really a bunch of Protoss children. Just gotta make sure you don't get overwhelmed by the children and they surround you. Well, one probe dies. Stalker does get here. Still pretty... I mean, that is remarkably similar to game number 1, isn't it? I guess the map is longer as well. It takes a longer time for the Reaper to get across, so might also have come into the consideration. Probably was. Shows how much I know about Protoss. Stargates. Next step in the plan of Nightmare. I like it. I like it. I think that is a great choice. Can't keep doing the same thing, right, against Terrans, otherwise they will be able to find those timing attacks when they want to. They are too familiar with what exactly you're doing. What was the first map, please? I remember that. I promise. Give me a moment. I remember that. Don't worry about it. Oh, we just saw it. It was like 4 minutes ago. It was 4 minutes ago. That's a long time. Oh shoot! Yeah, no, I'm a blank, mate. I'm a blank. I just remember Nightmare playing it wonderfully well. Sorry, buddy. I had a long night yesterday. Short-term memory, not what it used to be. Alright. Stalkers, Raven, a Cyclone as well. Instead of a siege tank. You should know this, right? Was it? Was it Berlingrad? Was it? I don't know. I need to drink some water. Oh well. Well, ignore that. I see the resort is open again. There's the security coming to get the streaker. Oh, and he's shot down. Alright. Not really a streaker, it was a Hellion. He's trying to flame probes. That's a lot cooler. Alright. Are we gonna get a push already here from Byun? That is very aggressive, actually. Trying to perhaps stunt the potential economy here of Nightmare? I don't think that's the right choice with the Phoenixes this time around. Maybe that's more something you can do against the Gateway forces, perhaps, right? In my mind, that makes sense. Perhaps where you start treating the Protoss more so as a Zerg. Where, you know, they're trying to expand as quickly as possible. But even just feinting an attack where you move across the map without any real willingness to commit to the attack, right? Then the Protoss is going to still have to respect that. He may still have to put some extra Chronos on the gateways, may have to start warping in a little bit quicker than they wanted to, may have to put a couple of extra shield batteries down. That's going to delay the 4th Nexus. That whole shebang. And then that explosiveness of the gateway army may not come into play as much. But that is all just hearsay. Speculation. Wild speculation from my part. As I will not get the chance to try that out on a player of anywhere near the caliber of these guys. This Phoenix getting enormous value right now, taking out a Medevac, a Raven, and a Viking. Second Medevac incredibly low on the HP. Still going to try to commit for a drop here, though. Very brave. Very, very brave. Especially as it is loaded up fully. Half HP flying towards... How many Phoenix was that? Just 7 of them. Just 7. You only need half of those to kill you. Medevac trying to overdose on Phoenix. Oh, that's unlucky. It's not a good spot for Medevacs to be, is it? Where did that drop go? Is it still there? Yeah, it is. Okay. Well, we'll come back to it once it reaches the proto space. Although it may just sit around in the dead space there for a little bit. Nice hidden Widow Mine. A little bit of a defense against the Phoenix here, but not much is really stopping the carnage. More and more SCVs go down. And yeah, without the initial supports of those Medevacs and stuff, I'm not sure if Byun is going to be able to find a lot of... Well, you know what? That one drop. That one very, very ballsy drop. It's doing a lot right now. It's killed 11 probes. Forced the Phoenixes back home. Made a couple of warp-in zealots appear and depowering a bunch of gateways here. I don't think depowering the gateways is too horrendous for Nightmare to endure at this moment, but we'll see. Is it just me, or does it feel like we have quicker ghosts this time around? Good EMPs are always good against Protoss armies, right? Phoenix and Colossi still get hurt by them. And their unit stats stack up quite a bit, so... Yeah, with the enhanced shockwaves as well, we'll have just a couple of ghosts should do the trick. Gotta be careful not to overmake Ghost against this composition, I would say. Matter of fact, burns up in the sky. The other one here does manage to unload the Marines, but probably not where it wanted to. Just gotta pick off a spotter pylon. Immediately that spotter pylon already gonna get reconstructed. I think that was an hallucination. Medevac, one more goes into the graveyard. It's Nightmare prepping up a nice looking fourth golden base. Byun, he's still sitting back at home, not moving out. Looks like he is gonna commit to make this a longer game right now in this series. Nice value plays from Nightmare. Yeah, I mean, this is really great value, isn't it? Actually, we should look at the value. Yeah, that is really solid value. That is really solid. The numbers overall are kind of low. Neither of them have lost that much. So, Byun definitely still in a position to make this work. Unless if he kind of sacrifices his bio units to the Colossi gods here. Another assault squadron as a drop onto the mineral line. Does find a lot of probe kills. Doesn't necessarily guarantee he's going to get the upper hand on the economy game here just quite yet. Still has to deal with a couple of zealots on his own turf. Does manage to do so quite nicely. And the entirety of the rest of the Protoss force actually sent back home to deal with this. So, Nightmare actually the one now hurting economically. Trade value not really here anymore. In all honesty, I thought Nightmare would have been able to just kind of start pushing through here. There really wasn't that much. A lot of it was in those medevacs right there, and I guess it was just a little bit too much for Nightmare to still feel comfortable trying to deal with it without sending everything that way. You know, those are the situations. If you make the wrong call, if you send a few units too little into the attack, it could have been absolutely devastating because you just lose everything. Or send too little home. May as well turn it into a base trade then all of a sudden. This can be quite volatile. Bit of harassment here and there coming through, but yeah, Byun on a pretty tight defense right now. Having most of his corners covered. Siege tank there with the bio as well. Doesn't take a disruptor shot. Zealots on the flank for the SCV line, but bio units already there. Peeled off the main force, ready to intercept. Phoenix on the bottom side, 3 missile turrets for them to deal with. So if they ever try to fly across, well, there is probably the dead space over here. You'll still get shot by 1 missile turret, but it's not the most terrifying missile defense system I've seen. Disruptor balls are not going to get shot out there for a while, and actually 2 disruptors are going to kind of suffer the consequences for that. Here is the move by the missile turrets. Looks like Nightmare did find that little area right there. Not enough Zealots here to really make anything happen though, and he's doing this as Byun is still inside of his own base. Now he's gonna start poking in the front area. 6 SCVs go down and that's about it. Again, a pretty good, solid defense from Byun. Then again, maybe it just wasn't the correct time for Nightmare to try that, right? Maybe he should have tried to have his main army. If he had his main army positioned over here, right? Look at that distance between the main base and that area over there. Maybe then he would have been able to get some value from killing the planetary. Just shooting disruptor or shots into this. Talking about disruptor shots. Oh, another one. He gets 2 more marauders. Not bad. Not bad. He's starting to set up shop with shield batteries in the middle of the map right now. That is... oh, that is disturbing. That is terrifying. I'm looking for a way around back into a mineral field here of the Protoss, but there is the Protoss army. Protoss army gets spotted on the well, other side of the map, so Byun decides to use the rest of his forces to clean up the center. Down go all those shield batteries I got all giddy about. It's a sad day for me. The Vikings here? Are they attempting to do probe harassment? Or is this just grandiose army miss micro? Looks like a miss micro. I always assume the best of these plays, but you know, sometimes, even with the greatest players of them all, those things happen. Big engagement right now with the Vikings and the Tempest kind of going at one another's throats. Great EMPs did manage to cover the entirety of the Protoss forces, so they are a little bit fragile right now. Trying to get back to these shield batteries at the gold base. Heal up, and who knows, he may try again, as he still has quite a committed area over here. He's got 3 High Templar and the 2 pylons. He's trying to reclaim this place. Byun maybe being a bit too careful, seeing that generous 3 High Templar offer menu. Doesn't quite go for it. Now the rest of the Protoss army is here once again. Nice control from Nightmare. I like how he has his units set up already. Making those shield batteries kind of forces the Terran to try and deal with this, having them push into you, rather than the other way around. Templar defense does get spotted, so Byun uses the scan, gets the denial on the +3 weapons. That's pretty big. 11, 13 probes as well. You know what? Doesn't hurt. Right now, Nightmare might not be all too concerned with his probe count. Still at 61, which is okay, as he has a little bit of a bank. He's going to be able to get back to max supply here with an enormous amount of army supply. Although, you know what, I'm saying that, and he just lost 3 High Templar here. Yeah. I absolutely love the idea that, you know, you have those High Templar there, because, you know, if you are the one that notices the Terran in that location sooner than the Terran is to notice your High Templar, you might be able to get a good couple of stumps. You might be able to get great feedbacks, right? But maybe this is just not the area to do it. Maybe taking out the rocks and hiding them up here, right? Coming for a flank later down the line or something. Then again, this is also quite exposed, and it just takes them longer to retreat if this ever does get pushed into. Choices. There's a lot of Vikings right now. 19 Vikings out and about. A little merry-go-round journey. We got how many orbitals? 5 of them. 14 gateways in total. Stargates, only 3 of them. I say only 3. That's still a very solid amount for someone that isn't fully going air army. Straight off the bat, disruptor shot there, pretty big. But once again, doesn't look like the time and place where either of them really want the 2 armies to go head to head with full force. Those Tempests, though, the Vikings, I suppose, make it very difficult for them to really do their get their value. Oh my, no, the Colossi get caught by the Viking there a little bit too quick, and now the Tempests are in trouble as well. Is there still a disruptor underneath all of this? I don't think there is. There's a lot of ghosts here. The EMP do land, but not before a storm does as well. The Vikings getting softened up a little bit, but look at the HP of those Tempests going down so quickly. As that Protoss force gets eliminated. Nightmare not ready to give up just quite yet. Still has a good amount of cannons here. The cannons getting targeted rather than the single pylon powering. How many? 5 cannons. Carriers are here as well, and they do manage to remedy the situation without actual massive economic losses here being taken for him. He's still about 30 to 40 supply behind overall, which mostly is within the army supply. Those 6 orbital command centers definitely helping out Byun with his only 60 worker count. Feeling like he will be the one bit in the driver's seat here. Scary things. Should have kept those Vikings. I think he just kind of felt like he might be at the tipping point, right? Maybe he felt like he was just about to crack the Protoss outer hide. Sending up a Liberator here. Because taking out a fresh base over here, absolutely massive. Absolutely massive right now. It's neck to neck in so many departments for these guys right now. Being able to shut down mining operations for even one of these bases without retaliation from the other side. Which was what it was feeling like there for a moment. Might be the final nail in the coffin. That'd be all she wrote at that point in time. It's Nightmare, you know, it wasn't a situation where he would just lose the Nexus. It was a situation where he was losing his entire army and then losing pretty much his freshest Nexus as well. With already quite a few bases starting to mine out. Dark Templar. It did get changed, of course, so not as tempting to get that blink upgrade right now to jump on top of planetary fortresses. I haven't tried it out myself yet, but I mean, having seen how quickly DTs can kill planetary fortresses and how many more DTs Protoss already were making than they kind of need to make that type of stuff happen, I'm not quite sure if a lot of has changed. Again, not a Protoss player, but yeah. Oh well, that does happen sometimes though, right? In StarCraft 2, where you're like, one unit gets a very tiny nerve and the whole community just goes like, oh, well, that's unplayable now. And then just out of the mindset, just don't want to play it anymore. It's like a rebellion. Who knows? Maybe in their minds, or at least in my mind, somewhere in the back of my head, it's like, if I just don't use this anymore now, nobody uses it anymore, they might change it back. They'll be like, oh, that was too much apparently. Never works, never works. Because ultimately people still want to win. We're gonna find ways around the issues. Oh. I was about to say, what a lucky siege tank to stay alive right there. Alright, let's see. Okay, well, that wasn't even that many Dark Templars. There was a missile turret and a Liberator on top of that. And the repair got implemented, and they still took out down the planetary. So, yeah. A little bit of an extra bit of time for the Terran to try and respond to it. But if you don't already have the resources nearby enough, then, oh man, yeah. I guess for this purpose, it hasn't changed that much. I guess it's changed a bit more so for like the big army engagements, right? If you have a big squadron of DTs and you jump on top of the Terran army, then that 1 extra second is actually quite immense, because that's in a whole second of Marines shooting you, right? DTs, they one-shot Marines, so that would be a very big deal. Gets a little base here. Bye-bye, Terran base. And it's gone. Alright. Gonna have to rebuild that. Probably no sweat for Byun. He's got quite a couple of them. They're popping out of the woodworks here. Oh, a big engagement actually, my bad. Battle continues 25 minutes later. We're still kicking. We've got battle. Wait a moment. My brain did not register this. I remember now seeing battle cruisers on the production tab and thinking like, huh. And then never really looking back on it anymore. But now there's 3 battle cruisers here. Okay, I need to know. Is Nightmare aware of battle cruisers? Does he know? Where is this thing? Oh, I need to... Okay, quick. Figure it out, Kozan. Where is it? There it is. Does he know? No, he doesn't know. Does he? Where the battle cruisers go? Oh, dear lord. Okay, they're still here. There's nukes as well. Oh, this is gonna be a banger, boys. This is going to be one hell of a game. Alright. Hopefully. It's lining up to be a bit crazy here. Maybe Nightmare will have something to say about it before that full arsenal of Terran is going to be unleashed here. But there's the battle cruisers. Yamato Cannon, quite a powerful tool to try and take down those capital ships of the Protoss as well. Shield batteries are going to have a rough time getting enough energy to defend against those Yamato Cannons. Definitely a chore. Maybe even a shield battery won't be able to deal with. Oh my god, look at that! That was so good! Look at this! All those feedbacks! He just killed like 3 ghosts or something. And he got rid of the energy of the other ones. Fantastic. Big attack on the top right base. Looks like that is going to break. And Nightmare might be feeling that his hand is getting forced into the engagement by this. Not looking to move back and try and deal with the army in that corner. So that is going to start moving towards the other side. Dark Templars attempting a clean up on the army. Not going to be allowed. Scans are implemented. Nightmare continues pushing forwards. The battle cruisers slowly retreating back over the infrastructure, waiting for further reinforcements. Other commands of Byun trying to figure out what the best course of action is here for both players. It's kind of a murky one, not entirely certain. The army supply dangerously close. Not a lot of mining going on for either of these players. Byun definitely having the upper hand for it though. As here we are, big engagement. What is happening entirely, it's hard to say. Some battle cruisers getting the Yamato cannons off. The Vikings. Not seeing a lot of Viking shells shoot across the skies, and that may be why Byun had to move back there with his battle cruisers. Now he's starting to move forward with the whole shebang. He's starting to do quite a nice job cleaning up the carriers. Yeah, ooh, it's close still. It is quite close still. Zealot's trying to move on forwards. There is High Templar energy enough for storms as well, as both armies once again reside back to their own side of the map. Definitely Byun here at the advantage. Will have this base right now mining here. Look at that, 6 mules instantly just thrown down. That is such a big deal for him right now. In comparison, we've got one little mining base over here, little mining base over there, and then half a, well, I'm not sure if we can call that a mining base anymore. Bottom left side getting chopped down to bits. The battle cruiser is busy with the 2 zealots on the other side of the map. Planetary Fortress, if it does get destroyed, would be quite nice, but kills off 2 High Templar there, 3 High Templar, 4 High Templar! Oh, that is not great. Now the battle cruiser's coming in and recall trying to escape the area. Come on! No, how's this gonna go? Okay. Whew. Alright. Alright. Okay, what does this all mean? This is crazy stuff going on right now. We still have that nuke as well, waiting in the silo. Not yet being utilized by Byun. Byun is miles ahead now. He's been mining with this array of mules here, and he's managed to get himself very close back up to 200 supply. Nightmare, about 50 army supply behind. It's a rough sight. Yeah, 50% more army supply available here for Byun as Nightmare tries to make the defensive stance above his shield batteries. Trying to force Byun away from that area once again. An orbital command center now mining in the bottom left side. Harassed by a stalker. May have to be responded to there by Byun. Oh, come on, Nightmare, that would be so good if it stays alive. Doesn't manage to multitask his way there. But he's sending some more units, 2 more stalkers, being very careful with the resources right now. That's important. You need to keep these low, well, yeah, these small number of units, insertion units, really, trying to infiltrate alive and get as much value as you can. Blink away, blink away. I'm gonna keep pushing here. No, okay. That would be a way to lose quite a bit of supply there quite quickly. Still 33 army supply for Byun is in Marines. 5 of them is for Ghost. Just kind of looking around what the army composition really is, because if Nightmare just has a little bit too much for, you know, ground AoE splash, then that air battle is just going to be straight up won by Byun already. I mean, look at the 13 battle cruisers and 8 Vikings available. Together with those Ghosts, ready to EMP the clumped up Protoss ball. Can seeing the Dark Templar. Nightmare finds his way into, you know, a little bit of an exposed position here. Getting himself a couple of orbitals. Definitely worth the push. Is he even gonna be able to retreat in time? So, oh no, we have a big surround here from Byun. He's gonna be coming in from two flanks. Battlecruisers on the one side. His shield battery is a little bit too far away for those Tempest and carriers to be used to full effect. The Marines get underneath the soft underbelly of the air army as the Colossi were wandering away to the right side of the battlefield, not anticipating the Marines to be arriving from a whole different area of this map. And now is this once again one of those situations where Nightmare just barely scrapes on by, or is this the situation what that Byun was waiting for? Yes, it is. 33 minutes in the making, but Byun secures game number 2. I'm secretly hoping to see the gateway style once again from Nightmare. But he is making something in the middle of the map here, so might be something else. It may be something else entirely. Salads being produced. Alright. Gonna be sending that across the map. Or he's anticipating an engineering bay block. Which would be kind of weird. Wait, did he just cancel something? Did he kill? He may have killed a cleaning bolt. That's probably what happened, right? It's probably what happened. Only Terran buildings explode when you cancel them. Must have been a cleaning bot. Alright, so Byun realizing, well, you don't have a Nexus quite yet, do you? Seems a bit peculiar. We got a proxy Stargate, something we don't see all that often anymore. This is the best of 5, so even if this game doesn't go Nightmare's way, he will have the other life remaining. Byun, so far, no eyes just quite yet on the proxy. Anticipating Nightmare to be a bit more careful with his proxies, perhaps, than he actually was. The Stalker now arrives as well. Oracle about to be ready. Proxy Void Race, just not what it used to be. Very quick. Comes in with the Stalker and the Zealot as well on the other flank. Gets... should be able to get more SCVs here, right? There you go, there you go. 4 of them. Also solid attempt, actually gets 5 now. With the help of the Zealot and the Stalker. Solid attempt from Byun to try and drag the Oracle into the Widowmine there. He kept it a little bit hidden very well as well. At least it was hard for me to see it move. I didn't really see it move. He moved it behind the orbital and then into the mineral line. Which I don't know if he does that on purpose. That's the reason why you put your factory here. But if it is, it's kind of clever. You can kind of try and sneak your Widowmine across once it's done. You know, and as you're just trying to avoid the Marines with your Oracle, you may not have your eyes fixated on the factory enough to spot that Oracle or the Widowmine moving. Looks like Nightmare did, so well done to him. More Stalkers at the forefront, getting a Cyclone killed. Starting to dwindle those Marine numbers a little bit. Probe's trying to get rid of those Widowmines. Already looking pretty solid for Nightmare here as well. More Widowmines. Ooh, goes for it. Goes for the kills. Picks up the other one as that is a perfect defense. Very well done. immense value achieved in the early game here by Nightmare. Still has that Stargate, even in the middle of the map, going unscouted. Up until this moment. Look at the amount of scouting that Byun has done. This is more scouting than I've seen him do in an entire best of 3. And he still hasn't managed to spot this Stargate. It is, it is quite something. This is quite the location, apparently. Phoenix with the Oracle. Kind of just poking. The siege tank there. Gotta be careful of those. They will tear your Stalkers apart if you're not too careful. We'll attempt the main base here, perhaps? Ooh, losing the Oracle, a bit too aggressive, apparently. Now goes in with the Stalkers. Maybe a bit too aggressive once again. As the Stalkers quite far away from the area to jump away. Still gets out with 3. Probably not as a very efficient trade, right? No. Definitely not. Byun kind of getting back on the overall skill. And his macro is solid enough as well that he seems to be doing pretty fine, economically speaking. Doubled the army supply, only 6 workers behind against a Protoss that has a third base. I guess the natural base was delayed for quite a while, so it just feels like a quick third base, but it's not entirely true. Oh, killed the Widowmine still! Doing it! Oh! That felt like a lot of panic right there. More Stalkers here with some more Marines jumping away. The other Stalker comes back in. This is a scrappy moment for Nightmare. More damage on that Stalker. I mean, in theory, right? This is the most value you should be able to get with those Stalkers. Just every time a blink is available, you kind of start shooting, and then you'll just blink away as soon as either your shield is gone or if you see too many Marauder shells suddenly taking flight. Oh my dear lord, what happened here? 11 probes died. Was that all Raven? Was that all this Raven? 11 kills on that Raven. That is ridiculous. Auto turrets. What? 11? That was like in the blink of an eye. How many auto turrets did he throw down? Jeez Louise. But yeah, the way Nightmare is playing, it looks like so much fun. It's very micro intensive in a way for the Protoss here. Just trying to maximize everything he can with every unit. Using a lot of probes at home though. Not doing all too swell on the other side of the map either. As this, well, it's up the Medivacs. All the units inside of it. 55 army supply versus 60, but the economy definitely a point of trouble for the Protoss here. He's gonna have to find a way to remedy that situation, or in order to well, do anything to his opponents. It's gonna happen. It's gonna have to happen pretty soon. Well, we don't. Well, we do have a third base for Byun. Actually, it's right here. It's not mining just quite yet, so economy might still be all right for Nightmare, as the oversaturation kind of negates the worker advantage here for Byun. A little bit. As soon as this is down on the ground, Byun is going to start, you know, gaining on the economy in leaps and bounds. More prison being chased by the Vikings. Is it gonna get away? May. Oh, would a mine drop get spotted? That is clever. That is really clever. I'm sorry, but yeah, that was really nice. Sending in those Phoenix afterwards. Still having Wither Mines in his main base though, and his natural base. But, alright, so this is what I was thinking about, right? Normally you send those Vikings to clear out an airspace so you can send in a medevac afterwards, right? So you know it's secure, you know you can get through there. So, Nightmare seeing the Vikings kind of fly past there, and then sending those Phoenix behind the Vikings. I'm not sure if he was trying to block them in or something like that. But anyway, we got a big fight here. The Protoss should still be able to hold this. I'm saying right now very confidently. That's a solid anti-armor missile. And pretty good kiting happening right now. But yeah, the Bioforces pretty low on the HP. Are gonna get forced away from here. There we go. Now who's who's ahead? Now who's winning? I think it's still Byun. Yeah, it's just not enough for Nightmare to come in and do something to the economy here. Nightmare's just lost 37 probes in total, you know, due to the Withermine drops, and I get why it's happening. Like, I don't think he's much worse than other Protoss players at multitasking or something like that. He's just seemingly a lot more active on the map. He's trying to really get the most out of each unit, which is very fun to see from a Protoss. It's like a how do you... Well, the gateway style, it's a bit of a combination as Nightmare is playing it as a Zerg and a Terran style, right? Trying to keep your units alive continuously as you're running around with them on the map, trying to get the absolute most out of them, while also trying to boost up that bigger economy than your opponents behind it. So you're capable of throwing away a couple of zealot batches here and there. Disruptors. Oh, Disruptors! Got spotted in time right there. Good pull away from Byun. Won't let anything bad happen just quite yet to his soldiers. Big warp into the Terran base. Deal with the situation is Byun right now, but some SCVs go down. The Warp Prism is going to be able to vacate this area and start applying pressure onto even another base. There is a big army over there, though. Might not be the moment, although Byun not responding to it as quickly as he could have. Warp Prism is out. And now he pushes in with the army. Interesting. Maybe that is one of the things I'm still seeing from Nightmare that make me wonder a little bit. I'll just have to see more games of him, but it does seem like he is, you know, whenever he's got harassment going, he's not really utilizing his main army as much perhaps as he could at the same time. Then again, that comes down to him trying to gain the most value out of each and every unit. It's a fascinating game, StarCraft 2. Alright, here we go. Is this... Yeah, you should be able to move away from here, Nightmare. That's a big pickup, though, and some low HP medevacs. It's a scary moment to try and make something like this happen, but here we are. Drops them on the other side of the concave. Be able to come in here with a nice flank. We're gonna have that. Disruptors coming in from a couple of sides. Colossus find the flank on the left. Are starting to focus fire. Pretty good fire happening there. As yeah, that is more than enough Protoss to push their way through. GG is cold and Byun gets left on the wrong side of the field here. Nightmare takes the lead. One day we'll make Byun an official non-official Alpha X member. It's gonna happen. He's, you know, he's just one of these guys that's always down to play. He's always fun to see play. And we have him in a lot of events. And he wins a lot of the events as well. A lot of the Alpha X event money goes to Byun. At least of the matches I cast. There's other stuff happening as well that I'm, you know, not following as closely as the ones that I'm literally in observing and commentating. Marine this time around for Byun is not going to get the probe. But stops any further scouting from taking place. And any further harassment of that SCV building a command center as well. Which is kind of nice. I can't believe that was still in the first series. This is pretty crazy. These have been some quite interesting, long, winding games. And a 3-1 for Nightmare over Byun. Now that would be quite a successful display. That would be quite a successful display. Let me look up Byun's recent matches against other Protoss, because I feel like overall it's pretty good against, unless if he's against Hero, right? Hero is still quite a troublemaker. Who's on Dragon Phoenix Gaming? Nightmare kind of reminds me of how Hero is approaching the game right now, though, as well. So, we have the concussive shell. Yep, alright. Here we go. It's pretty good against the Stalkers. Gonna get himself a couple of probes. Gonna get a Stalker as well. Yes, he will. That goes down. Ooh, a little bit too quick with the retarget, but you know what? I think he pretty much gets what he can with the little push, given the circumstances. Alright, illegal leg Byun. Byun. What Protoss players have you been facing recently? Match history. Fork and DNS. I see trigger. He lost a trigger. Oh. Interesting. Alright. So maybe not an as astute hero of the TVP matchup as I thought he is. But we know he's having like a 50-50 win rate against Hero right now. One of the, well, Protoss players that we're seeing having a lot of sudden success. And Nightmare kind of replicating that type of atmosphere here. With the blink upgrade ready and the Warp Prism here, Nightmare looking to be a bit of a nuisance. Trying to get underneath the skin of Byun. He's got himself a pretty good solid setup. The Warp Prism and a Observer, so he can apply pressure in pretty much wherever he wants to. Together with these Blink Starters. They do have Blink, right? Yeah, they do. He's just got it up. Doesn't quite get the bunker. Does he get the bunker? Does not get the bunker. One Stalker short. Or maybe one Stalker shot short. Okay, Byun handling this pretty well so far. Not really sustaining any damage. right? A couple of Marines here and there, a Marauder, and a single SCV. Should all still be fine. Is he killing a lot of Stalkers? No. Well, there's 2 dead. One of them happens with the Marauder Marine push over here earlier, of course. So it's still something to be a little bit wary about. That those Stalker numbers can, you know, grow to ludicrous sizes. But I don't think Nightmare's really going for anything of the sorts. Going for Colossi right now, more so in the background of this. Trying to get himself the AoE splash damage. Third base assembled. Third base for Byun in production, together with the 4th and 5th barracks. Already across the map though, with 2 medevacs filled with units looking for a drop. There are some gateway forces here, but a little bit slow with the reaction. So probes may suffer the consequences for this. Oh dear, I don't know if that's enough gateway. That's gonna be a lot of probes dying here. As well as those Stalkers and Zealots, you know, they don't grow for free. You still want them around after killing the Terran forces here, so you can, you know, potentially go do something against them on their side of the map. But if you lose probes and you lose a lot of your gateway, then well, that's just everything a Terran could ask for right there. 14 probes and positively trading against the gateway army. Honestly, I feel like that's not allowed to happen. that is just not fair. But it happens here. Nightmare not having enough units at the right place at the right time, and you know, and you're just kind of funneling Protoss units into the Marine Marauder fire line. One of the most glass cannon-esque army compositions you can have in this game. Right, more drops, more probes go down. A couple of Zealots as a Stalker falls as well. Coming back around into the main base. Well, I'm not even sure if we can call that a Protoss army. That's more like the volunteer squad. Alright, there's the rest of the army trying to come in. Another Colossi, good amount of Zealots, but they, well, you say it's a good amount of Zealots, but where are they now? Where are they now? They're dust. They are absolute dust, as are these probes at the third base. The main base still suffering from the 2 medevac drop as well. Nothing else to do anymore, as you can see it's a tight rope to walk for the Protoss in that early game, as you lose track just a little bit and things go haywire quite quickly. Top right side, the blue Protoss fighting for Team NV, Nightmare. The Nightmare on Team NV Street. On the bottom left side, the Rebel of Shopify Street. It is the Red Terran, Byun. Shopify Rebellion. Can we still call Shopify Rebellion a New Kids on the Block? As a team, of course, not as the players. We know the players, you know, they're solid. They're platinum status right now. That's how long they've been in the StarCraft 2 scene, but wait, platinum status. It sounds a lot more impressive in like VIP clubs, right? Platinum status rather than in StarCraft 2. Sounds like an insult at this point. And I feel like you guys know what I mean. And if you don't, well, that's fine too. We'll figure it out some other day. What's happening here is quite interesting. The probe being a pesky little boy, as 2 gateways are finishing up just outside of the Terran base. There they are. We can get a short glimpse of them. It's the command center on the low ground. Is Byun finally gonna get punished for his lack of scouting? Is this the day where it happens? The probe gets knocked out. That is a big deal. You would like to have the probe so you can build a potential pylon or something here on the high ground. Immediate cancellation of the command center. Not even sitting around waiting for that. Zealot's got to get on that SCV right there. Good targeting. Now focusing the tech lab right here. That is trying to produce a concussive shell upgrade. Now the concussive shell upgrade, if that gets completed, which it looks like it will, as repairs are happening. The Zealot actually just kind of dying here. The concussive shell upgrade play is quite a good one in these situations. It's pretty much what you need, right? Against those slow Zealots without charge, against those Stalkers without blink, your biggest friend is going to be the concussive shell. The concussive shell, your best pal. Up to a certain point in time. Well, the concussive shell cannot shoot things that teleport. And has diminishing value when shooting things that come charging at you with the speed of sound. Concussive shell. Get yours today. Alright, well, yeah, it's a bit of an awkward situation here as the bunker is now just up and rolling. Right, we're gonna have to see Nightmare try and dig his way out of this hole. He's committed quite a bit to gateway forces here. He's got a bit of a contain happening for the side of Byun, so hopefully he's going to be able to delay that command center. But as you can see, the kiting of concussive shell in these situations, it is just so much value. Maybe Nightmare is going to find a way to utilize a force field here to block the Marauders from kiting, but I don't think he will, right? You're more likely... It's already dead, yeah. Well... Are we, I mean, we're still in this game. Clearly anything can happen. Nothing horrible will be happening in the first couple of oncoming minutes here on the other side of the map. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't stress it. You see, all these Marauders are low HP now, so they can't do anything. They're actually dead. They're actually dead. Alright, and there's more Stalkers coming. Never mind, they're not. But they are though, right? There's 3 more gateways being made. This is a rough spot. This is a rough spot. Not gonna lie. Shield battery, robo facility. How different is this from the Proxy 2 Rex? I guess the gateway units are just a lot more expensive. You have to make a pylon as well, which is another 100 minerals invested. But you don't have to have the probe stick around there for a long period of time. So theoretically, you could send it back and make up a little bit for that cash loss right there. Because the SCVs would have to sit across, right? You only have to send 1 probe as well instead of 2 probes. So I guess you save money there as well. Then you don't get the floating buildings aspect, so you can't really fly one back to try and save fuel production facilities a little bit. Anyway, let's see if he lives here. I have my doubts. I do have my doubts, but shield battery overcharge, pretty strong, is going to buy him a little bit of extra time here. Stim was already utilized by Byun as well before pulling the retreat. Do we have blink? No, I probably could have known. An immortal might not even be that bad of a choice in this place either, right? If you're, I guess the War Prism actually much better choice. As you don't have blink, having the War Prism for the pickup micro against Marauder shells actually can win you the game. Well, you know, if you're that good at it, it can win you the game in any situation. I don't think anyone is that good that they can make that happen. Otherwise, they probably would have been nerfed by now. But theorizing is always fun. 2 medevacs with a bunch of bio in the cargo bay. looking to destroy some probes here, killing off some Stalkers as well. Once again, there's quite a bit of value being achieved here for Byun, as the Stalkers on the other side of the map struggling to find their way into value here. Does not look like they succeeded, and a unfortunate GG has to be called. A wonderful series, a wonderful performance there by Nightmare. In all honesty, I thought he was going to make it happen there. The 3-1 victory over Byun. Couldn't quite pull it off. Byun still with that early game aggression from Nightmare, I suppose. Being able to fight against that strongly enough and find his way to victory.